Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday live stream. And as usual on Sundays, we do a little checkup to see if this is a good time to sell. I think it's more appropriate also to take a look at, is this the greatest time to buy? And I'm joined yet again by Jerry V. Hall from Hypercycle. Jerry, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me here, Rob. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. So Sundays are kind of like one of those days where, well, we'll see what happens as the markets open up on Monday. So today's a good time to review. And the reason why we talk about Sunday sell-offs is because I think as we get into this bull market, depending on what you believe, if you already think that the top has already been hit and now we're back into a 4-year cycle or 5, 6 year, 7, 8 year cycle, who knows? Or if you think there's more room to grow, this is a good refresher to remind you, not just about taking profits like we talk about, but it's also about when to take those profits and the indicators that we've taken a look at. So first things, if we take just a review, if you're a long-term hodler like myself and Jerry, then these days, maybe you don't want to look at your portfolio because it's down pretty hard. If you're a trader and if you're a scalper and if you do a lot of different things, even medium term, you might want to take a look at it. But for me, probably Jerry too, it's not a big deal with the portfolio. So that's why we talk about, this was just me this morning, getting out, not caring about the portfolio, trying to make sense of different things and go from there. But what we want to do is take a look at some indicators. We're going to look at 4. And if you're unfamiliar with these indicators, there's a link in the description where I go over 2 different thought processes. One is about stress-free profits, which is more for the unestablished cryptos. And we talk about what those are. And then the I'm selling, why, and when. And those are for the more established types of digital assets, usually ones in like the top 20, maybe top 30. So first things first. Jerry, ever seen this one? Market value to realized value? I'm sure you have.
I think you've shown it once before. I think it was like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So this one's a good one just to kind of see where we're at in the market. And as a recap, the realized cap values each coin based on the price it was last moved. So it's the market value, what we got now, versus the realized value or the realized cap. And we take a look at asset price times supply. And the example that they gave here is the realized price today of one Bitcoin that was last transferred on January 1st is $997. So whatever that price was at January 1st, 2017, which was right around $1,000, you take that away from the price today, which, Jerry, what's the price of Bitcoin today?
85,243 or something like that.
85,243, something around that ballpark. Yeah. So you take that, you minus that, that's your actually realized value. And we can see that as we go across the continuum, going all the way back to, say, let's just go back to 2013. You can see that it's just a lot of pressure, a lot of people who are accumulating, and then it goes all the way up to this realized value of a massive amount. And any kind of MVRV score over 5, you're looking at kind of like, this might be a good time to get out or to sell some. And again, I can't tell you what to do. Me and Jerry aren't financial advisors, but maybe you think about taking profits because maybe things can reverse and nothing goes up forever. So we can see it was actually above 5 here. Actually hit a 4.5 in 2017. We hit around 4 in 2021. And today, the last time we were really high, 5th of December, 2024, Bitcoin market cap was almost at $2 trillion. Wow. And now, of course, today we're at 1.96. So having said with this, Jerry, what do you think? Time to buy, time to sell?
You know, it's so interesting because every single one of us, let's say the 300 million Bitcoin holders, we're all in different places in our life and we're all in different parts of our journey, right? Like you alluded to earlier, you and I are not going to be doing anything right now, right? We might put a little extra into our weekly purchase just because we did see a nice 8% decrease. And those are the kind of margins that you and I like to play around in when things start getting around 10%, this way 15%. These are when we consider doing things. But put yourself in the life of the Bitcoin purchaser who did purchase when it was $995, or the Bitcoin purchaser in January, like you mentioned, where it was $9,000. right?
Right.
These kind of guys. Well, maybe you've got stuff going on in your life, and it's definitely just time. Maybe you need to renovate the house. Maybe you need to send a kid to college. Maybe you just need the money because your YouTube channel is not funding your lifestyle.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
YouTube doesn't pay squat. I'll tell you that right now. YouTube does not pay much of anything.
So, there's millions of us involved in this game, and more coming, it seems like, every day. And we're all at different points of the journey. So, is it good or bad? I don't know. I think everything is relative to your own particular situation. I think if you bought Bitcoin at $1,000 and you need some money, I think $85,000 is a completely reasonable time to take profit. But if you bought Bitcoin at $100,000, I think selling right now would be a huge mistake.
Yeah. Selling right now, probably not on the timeline of most people, but as time moves on, we want to take a look at this, also the NUPL, little pi cycle top and bottom, 12 multiple. And I'm going to show you the not a master list, but a pretty good breakdown of the bull market peak indicators. And I'm just going to give everybody a shocker that not one of these have been hit yet. And this is over 20, 30, the top 30 different indicators. So I'm just going to bypass and just tell you that this is obviously not a great time to sell, but Jerry said it right. If this is something like time for you to get into it and say, you know what, I got to get that kidney and I am sick of going to dialysis, or
yes,
you know what, I'm tired of living in this cardboard box. Time to upgrade to a studio in California for $10,000 a month or whatever it's being priced at. So yeah, like these are the days that it's all relevant to you. But as far as like MVRBZ score, not too great. Now, I will say this on Ben's site, which is pretty cool, is that it's not just Bitcoin. What about like Ethereum? I have not looked at this actually, because Ethereum has been a kind of a laggard. Mm-hmm. But if we can take a look over here, it's actually below 1.
Wow.
So this is obviously an awful time to sell Ethereum.
I would not have guessed that.
Well, it's been sucking for a while.
Relative to Bitcoin, right? I tie the two of them together so often in my mind. That was a tremendous disparity there.
Yeah, it's huge. And I mean, Ben on his site, on his channel, talks about this constantly. And he's actually taking a look at just how much Ethereum has bled to Bitcoin. And he recently turned his attention to Solana. Check out those videos. And you'd be like, I mean, people will say, well, Solana's been doing so great. Relative. And then let's see, NVRBZ, how about Cardano?
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite. It's actually above Ethereum. It's actually done. It's 1.08 at this point. But again, Ethereum's been quite of a laggard. Let's see, how about this thing would go down. Gosh, let's just do Stellar for. Wow, those actually kind of performed quite well, 2.17. But remember, it's had a little bit of a boost because of the possibilities of no taxes for crypto or digital asset companies that are in the United States, which makes me wonder why Cardano hasn't really jumped up, or Ethereum. Actually, I don't think Ethereum is a US-based company. I think they actually incorporated into Switzerland, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments section. So that's what we have for MVRBZ. Net unrealized profits and losses. This one's kind of almost the same deal. The realized cap values each coin based on the price it was last moved instead of its current value. So are you in profit? Are you out of profit? And of course, the more that you're unrealized profits, the better you are, or unrealized losses. And for this one, the NUPL is actually, for Bitcoin, is pretty good. Because just like what Jerry said, if you take a look at this over a continuum from the last time it moved, you got guys that have been in this game since 2010, 11. They haven't moved anything. It's very rare. But as you move forward, a lot of the people that become hardened Bitcoiners, they don't move their Bitcoin. They don't sell their Bitcoin. That's why it does so well. And you're going to see that the NUPL for Bitcoin is actually quite high because people aren't selling. But take a look at this. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Now things are a little bit different. The NUPL is actually in the negative. So a lot of these people that have been buying Ethereum, they either haven't held or they've been selling. And I know, and this is not going to be very popular, but I know with Arkham Intelligence, they actually track some of the wallets for the Ethereum Foundation, and they see a bunch of sell-offs going there. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's not great if you're really believing in Ethereum. And people will say, well, they got to keep the lights on. I wholeheartedly agree. It's just that you can see there's a big difference between a Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's take a look at one more. Let's take a look at Chainlink. I have not looked at this. Yeah, kind of the dumpers, even though I like that project. Anyhow, Jerry, what do you make of this?
Again, back to, I think it all boils down to somebody's got to pay the rent, right? None of us live for free.
Yeah.
And depending upon the situation, like I was just thinking about the Ethereum Foundation and consensus and these elements, right? These have grown over the last 5 or 6 years to be very large organizations. There's got to be probably a pretty considerable price tag associated with keeping those operations operating.
That's how it is. You got to keep the lights on.
You got to keep the lights on. You say that, and it sounds like a saying, but it really has a tremendous meaning to it. Yes, somebody's got to pay the bill.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So when you're funding political campaigns and you're paying lobbyists, and you know what I mean, these are things. These are not small, insignificant dollar amounts that we're talking about.
No, it is not. That's just how it goes. And then, of course, everybody's favorite Pi cycle top, where when we have a 350-day moving average times 2 cross over the 111-day moving average, they say that that's a pretty good time to sell. Now, again, this is looking at Bitcoin. This works really well for Bitcoin, but I'm going to show you how it doesn't work for everything else because there's limited data. The more time frame you have, the more data you have, the more accurate these models can be, even though all models are wrong. Some are useful, like they talk about. And we can see this was created, the Pi cycle top was created in 2019. Retrospectively, it nailed the 2017 and 2013 very well, right? Pretty much the tops. But the last one, not the tippy top, but pretty good. Bitcoin was at 60,000. I think no one would be upset if they sold at 60,000, wrote it down to 17, 18, 19,000 and bought everything back up again. I mean, that's what I think. Anyhow, Jerry, do you put much stock into the Pi cycle top?
Really? I think there are several indicators that are important to be aware of. Do they dictate my life and my actions? No. But being aware of them are important. And again, back to me, I'm in accumulation mode. I'm not selling Bitcoin until it's 1 million because I have a limited amount of Bitcoin, right? But if I had 100,000 Bitcoin, that would be completely different. I don't. So I'm in the accumulation mode because my long-term strategy is to leverage my Bitcoin for loans. No different than I could leverage my stock portfolio for loans. I want to live off of debt like the rich people do.
Remember that phrase. I want to live off debt like the rich people do, because I'm going to be doing the same thing. So just real quick, this Pi cycle top, I want to show you that it's great for Bitcoin, but if you take a look at like Ethereum, not as great. So let's take a look at this guy right here. So in blue is the ETH price. 12th of June, actually the Pi cycle top crossed here. Not so great. And then it crossed 21st of October, which I guess wasn't bad. ETH price was 295, but it missed the top of 1400 in 2018 and got really close over here at 828. So that's like 50% off roughly. Mm-hmm. But then if we take over here, 2021, you can see that it just totally missed it. And again, this is Ethereum Pi cycle top. It's the same indicators, 111-day moving average, crossover 350-day. And it's just excessively gone outwards as time has gone on. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But you can do that with everything that you think might actually work. Some actually do, some don't. It just depends on.
Well, you got to keep in mind you got to keep in mind these type of mathematical equations aren't the same if you're talking apples to oranges, right?
Yeah.
Ethereum has an elastic supply. Bitcoin has a fixed supply.
That's also very true.
You know what I mean? So those are factors that you got to kind of at least be aware of and understand that they can skew the outcome of the math, because the math is, you're using the same exact math on the Bitcoin as you are in Ethereum, yet they are not the same thing. Their supplies are different. The way Bitcoin is issued versus the way Ethereum is issued, etc. Not to mention the scale of either of those outputs.
Well, it used to be proof of work, but they thought proof of stake could be better. So here we are. I'm not going to debate that. That's for the brainiacs.
Yeah, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say that there is one indicator that's been pretty accurate. And this is one of the reasons why I recently bought Bitcoin. I was going to wait. I must admit, for the risk bands, but I had to get a little bit in. And this is why. So the fear and greed index is not a great indicator when you want to sell, because extreme greed, it's like tomorrow could be extreme greed. That's just how it goes. But there is one thing I want to show you with this one. So you have different levels, and this is what they all look like if you put them all on. So you have like extreme greed at 9100, then greed or whatever this is, and then essentially 40 to 50 is right in the middle of the road. Then when you get to the 20 and 30, it's fear, mild fear, and then extreme fear. So there's 0 to 10 and 10 to anything around 10. I want to show you something. Watch this. I'm going to hide them all. Okay, this is the price of Bitcoin. All right, along a team, but not showing anything as far as like fear and greed. If I click on the 0 to 10, there's very, very few.
Right.
Very, very few. And this is actually a pretty good time. Now check this out. If we go back to extreme fear in 2020, 16th of March, Bitcoin was 5,000. Not a bad time to buy. How about 6,000? Would you be okay with that? I think most of us would. Yeah. And then here was extreme fear, 30,000. But check this out. This is 2022. Again, this price point was 30,000. And people are like, well, it's extreme fear, I should buy some. But look at that. It went to 19, then 22, and then finally 19,000, which I think the bottom was around over here, 17,000. Yeah. Which was only at the fear stage. So if you put everything in at 30,000, you're like, well, it's extreme fear. I gotta put everything in. You missed that and that and that, which is fine, because if you're at 30,000 and it goes to whatever it is today, you're still feeling pretty good. And it's only been
243. Yeah,
I think it's not bad. So you'll notice that there is no extreme fear yet. But if I turn on the 10 to 20, a little more jumbled, but not bad price points. 32,000, 49,000, so on and so forth. And it just hit
at 85. Yeah, 85.21.
All right, come on. Oops. We actually did hit extreme fear at 84.
Oh, 84.6.
And 84.2. So
84.24.
Does this mean that we can't go lower? No, we definitely can. Just like I just showed you, from 30,000 to 22,000, we can go lower. But I think at these times, at this point, I think it's not a bad time to buy for me. I don't know about you guys. And of course, you can definitely sell, like what Jerry talked about. But I bought a little bit. I'm hoping it goes lower. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. And that's pretty much where we're at today. So, Jerry, anything else we missed?
I did the same thing you did. It was yesterday, 9 a.m. my time. I exhausted my last round of dry powder until next month. Yeah, I mean, or until later here, the first week of March. So I'll be able to have another round in the chamber for the month of March, and I will choose a time based off of, you know, these analytics to deploy that next round, the March allocation. That's what I do, is I give myself a monthly allocation of X. So X amount of dollars is my monthly allocation. Sometimes I'll split that up into 4 sections.
Yeah.
Right. Unless some kind of unicorn type of thing happens. I think there are too many outside tailwinds for us to get too scared right now with the political environment and just the trends. The trends, there's nothing that's happened to ignore the trends or does it dismiss the trends. We still have a Trump in the White House. We still have basically a very powerful party momentum in both the Senate and the House of Representatives. We've got all kinds of other incredible regulatory tailwinds. How can you truly get scared and fearful that we're going to bottom out and crash? I don't see that. I see market adjustments. I see reallocation of things, but I don't see anything to get me fearful. So I'm not scared at all. Matter of fact, I'm extremely bullish for the future of this industry and specifically projects like Bitcoin.
I'm thinking either we could see that, like you just talked about, which makes a lot of sense, or maybe, and we talked about this a couple of days ago, because people say, well, like, who has it here? Ocean View says everyone is crypto fatigue right now. I got to agree with there. And then there was, thanks, Jerry. And then Mike asked, has alt season came and went already? No. It was the same thing in 2021. And I gave these examples. I said, when we went down in February, we actually did like a reduction of 22% in February for Bitcoin, and alts were even lower from February 21st to February 28th. But then they rallied 188%, like Ethereum did, but then they dropped 57, then shot up 168. So maybe...
Boy, that was a great month, wasn't it, Rob? November 2021.
Yeah, those are good times.
Boy, that
May, July, November. Same thing with Solana. Same thing with Cardano. So it was like a double top. And I don't know if that's going to repeat itself perfectly, but I mean, to think that most of the alts came back to either they hit their all-time high, barely, went a little bit over, or they didn't even hit the all-time highs again. They're all going to crash, and that's it for another 4 years. Perhaps just doesn't seem that would be the most different cycle so far. But like Jerry said, there's a lot of people that are kind of rooting for digital assets to go forward, and that's the current administration as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there a bunch of noise and news on X pertaining to a David Sachs in the White House hosting a whole bunch of digital asset entities, CEOs, etc.? I mean, isn't that happening in the beginning of March?
March 7th.
I mean, how we went from getting bank accounts shut down just not too long ago to people are being invited to the White House.
Yeah,
I mean, this is if the needle was over there, you've got to think it's going this way now. This is all incredible stuff. How can we be fearful? Don't be fearful, folks.
Don't be fearful. Yeah, scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money. Mm-mm. And it happens all the time. But Jerry, okay, here's the flip side. Maybe David Sachs, the crypto czar, is inviting everybody, all the CEOs and the big projects to the White House to be like Squid Game and just start slaughtering everybody and saying, okay, everybody bend the knee, and we want you to use the standard, which is now called Trump coin.
Yeah, and the new
global finance.
I think that would make a good SNL skit, but I don't think that is anywhere near what the outcomes of this will be. You know what I think we're going to see in the next this first year of the Trump administration, I think we're going to see blue chip alts arise. These are your Cardanos and XRPs and Solanos and things of that nature. And I think there'll be a category of blue chip alts. And then there'll be those tens of thousands of others, right? Oh, yeah. that are going to be fighting to get into a blue chip status. So what I mean by that is I think there's going to be thousands of % gains for those ones that aren't established as blue chips, and the blue chips will start seeing gains of hundreds of %, but not thousands anymore. They'll collapse their trajectory because they will have been recognized, and the momentum will have already occurred before the world understands it. Because the smart money will recognize that and pile in, drive it to the next plateau, and then the next gain from that next plateau will be orders of magnitude below that initial gain.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Everything kind of repeats about the different industries that come in. So I always took a look at it as like, I thought that these crypto products, the one that actually are real and working and actually do something, they need to consolidate to kind of join forces to make themselves successful, because businesses by themselves are very hard to really make it. And you can just take a look at, say, like the ASI, artificial superintelligence. So you had Fetch, you had Singularity, and you had Ocean Protocol. And they all came together and said, we all do something really good in AI. Let's just combine forces. And it didn't work out so well. But even going backwards, take a look at say, like you said, there's like tens of thousands or hundreds. If you take a look at the internet, you know how many different businesses Amazon bought up over the last, decade and a half? It's a ton of different ones, because they're like, we're strong, you're not as strong. Come in the family, we'll buy you out and we'll be stronger together. And that's what they did. Whole Foods did it. Seemed to be not a big deal. Facebook did the same thing with what they did. And they said, Instagram, you're doing good, but I think you can do better with us. Sure, let's do that. WhatsApp, you're doing okay, but we're going to make it even better. And I think we're going to hopefully see that. And I see these projects start absorbing other projects, and then they're becoming these big blue chips, just like what we saw before.
I agree. I think this is the year you're going to start to see the formation of exactly that. Exactly that.
Plato says Jerry's wearing a Zelensky-inspired T-shirt. That was pretty good.
Did you watch that by any chance?
I watched the whole thing.
I did too, and I was absolutely dumbfounded by some of the reactions that I was seeing. I was like, "Wow, that isn't what I saw."
You got to watch the whole. It's like 50 minutes or something like that, and
57 minutes. It was nothing.
And let's not. I don't want to move this channel to crypto, to geopolitical expert, because just last week, Jerry, I was an AI expert. So I don't want to keep jumping around, because but I just say, like, when I saw it, I'm like, all right, it is what it is. We'll see how everything reacts. Who knows? Sol's moving. Is Sol moving? Hey, Jerry, here's another question for you about Solana. How did you feel about or what did you think about the big unlocks and how that affected Solana? Because we had, I want to say, like 2.3 million in February. Maybe it was 3.2. And then, of course, we just had a 9 million unlock just on March 1st. So that was 2 days ago. Yesterday,
we've seen it time and time again, and it was probably the primary reason why I got out of XRP. When a single entity, which to me is one single counterparty, when they have the ability to absolutely devastate the market with a move, then I tend to back away, right? I back away from XRP. It's probably an incredible project and probably going to do great things. But that 1 billion a month thing was just like, wait a second, I can't handle this. And when you start looking at what Solana can do now, what will they do? What's in their best interest? What do they need to do? Will those points ever conflict with what they can do and what they ethically should do? I don't know. But I think Solana, for all the activity that it has and shit, this should be a $400 or $500, $600 a coin. And look, it's at 151.
Excuse me, real quick. Just have to do something.
Oh, I need to mute. The church is going crazy.
Oh, I need you, Jerry, because as I looking at these prices, smokes. Was this 24 hours or the last hour? In 1 hour, it's been up 8.3%. We did it, Jerry. We brought back Solana. It's just us. We did it. Congratulations.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly brought Solana back from the dead. Must have been my message in GitHub. All right. Well, there we go.
Raoul Powell pressed buy.
Yeah. Yeah, or Raoul Powell dressed by. Of course. That's exactly what it could be. Yeah, man, that's looking pretty good. What do we think? Okay, Jerry, price predictions. Let's also become price prediction experts. What do you got?
I think the next 3 months, we're going to see the crypto market get back over its 3 trillion plus threshold. And a lot of these kind of little things that we've been dealing with the last month will just be white noise in the background. That's my prediction.
I think so. I will tell you that using a TANGEM is extremely easy to do. You can just go ahead and, even if you're doing like, I don't know, a live stream, you can go ahead and buy crypto. It's amazing. Anyhow, so Solana is looking good. Why don't we take a look at the risk levels?
You just made a buy, literally on air? Oh.
No. Yes, maybe. Okay. So let's go back to Solana. Got to get out Jerry's inhaler. He's going to laugh too hard. So here's the risk levels for Polkadot. I don't want that. If you got Polkadot, yeah, such a great project. Just, I don't know, it's just very bunch of a laggard. Solana. There we are. So we're at the 0.56 level. Not a great level, honestly. You want to see it around like 0.475, 0.45 at 116. But we're looking at 0.56. Maybe it keeps going down, maybe not. Remember, a lot of people...
Well, an hour ago, it was in those levels, right?
I don't know if it can move that fast, but perhaps. I have to ask Ben if it's updated hourly, minute by minute, or daily.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But if we want to take a look at like levels that this potentially could reach just based on historical stats, at a 0.85, you're looking at 414 per Solana, 0.9523, and then tops out at 837. Now, some people will say, no, we can see it. There's like a bull case, there's a bear case, there's a middle of the road case. And yeah, 837. So we'll see. Someone saying, Wheezy says, look at the current charts. Did it slide all the way back down? Take a look at Trading View. Yeah.
Boy, that is just a heck of a candle, isn't it?
That's a heck of a candle. Somebody knows something. Again, maybe it was Raoul Powell buying like crazy.
And don't forget,
USDT is crashing.
The people that are sitting in the boardrooms of these projects that do have capital to do stuff, if you take a page from the legacy markets, what was it about? I think 11, 12 years ago, the companies buying back their own stock started to become a procedure and a tactic in the marketplace, right? I don't think it goes back longer than that, but it's about 12, 14 years ago. Companies would actually go into the marketplace and buy their stock back to affect the stock price, right? But also to do things like deploy capital, because if you sold stock, right? You sold stock, that would dilute your stock base. If you bought your stock back, that could deploy capital that would erode through inflation, but be used to create a higher stock price so that you could collateralize stock and take loans against it, right? These are mechanisms that they use in the marketplace. Don't think for 1 second crypto companies and crypto projects will not be doing the same thing. And that also could be, I mean, we don't know exactly where that candle came from and who's behind it, but it's not beyond the realm of reason that it was a strategic move by the Solana Foundation or a group of the very large initial holders.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Good point. All right. So someone said that USDT was crashing. I don't think that's true, but all right.
God, how does this company stay as dominant as they are when you think of all the shenanigans and all the things that have been proven with Tether, right? The fact that some audits showed they didn't have the reserves that
Gary, look at this. Everything's, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something, because this is up 25%.
This just happened? This just happened.
11:30 in 5 minutes.
Was that you on your phone? Did you just do that?
Guilty as charged. Sorry, everybody. I front ran you. And now you're going to pay the price as I dump on you. No, just kidding. Maybe not.
Well
maybe.
Maybe this could turn into be a day to sell here on the old digital asset news. Oh yeah, look at us. We're back.
We're so back.
We're so back. Now we look like geniuses from what we did yesterday and the day before. Look at us.
That's crazy. So maybe that March 7th, whatever soiree they're going to have at the White House, maybe somebody really does know something. Well, everybody, I'm going to, there is a rumor that the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is going to be announced. But that was just a rumor. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think they're going to deliberate, investigate, collect information, and Q3 of this year, something concrete may happen. So which means from now until Q3, we will get a lot of speculation. There'll be a lot of what you said, rumor. But what is that old adage in capital markets? Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah. That's crazy. I haven't seen these types of candles. Well, it's a good thing. I want to say congratulations to everybody who stuck around. Like, I mean, we talk a good game. People talk about how it's going to go parabolic and it's going to blow up. And you're like, yeah. And then it doesn't do squat. And then all of a sudden, things pamp like this. Bam. It's pretty nice. Yeah, definitely somebody knows something. What's Ethereum doing? Oh, sweet Mary and Joseph. Look at that. How about BNB?
Oh, okay. Everybody.
Let's see. Dogecoin. I'm feeling pretty good. So I guess my fear ingredient index worked out pretty well for everybody. All right.
Pat yourself on the back, Rob. You've done it again.
Yeah, I did it again. Just don't leave anything on Celsius. All right.
Yeah. Here's a tip. Take your money off Celsius. Ouch.
Yeah.
That one left a mark.
Yeah. Peter says fake out people, crashes incoming. Peter, why do you got to ruin it for everybody? Why do you got to ruin it? We're having a good time here.
Peter coming in with the voice of reason. That's right. Temper the expectations. I will not take a loan and buy a new yacht.
Mm-hmm.
No Lambo today, Jerry.
No Lambo. Have you ever tried to drive a Lambo?
No.
Very difficult.
My buddy Nick Black has an exotic car rental business in LA, and I did promise myself when I get to the FU money stage,
Yeah.
when I've got some FU money,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go rent a couple of different super exotic cars, like a McLaren and a Lambo, and I'm gonna feel what that feels like without having to actually just
Jerry,
rent it.
this is why. This is not from his Twitter account. It's from his Truth Social account. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is my executive order on digital assets direct the presidential working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes, oh, wow, XRP, Solana, and ADA. Oh, my God.
Specifically named XRP, Sol, and ADA.
Well, great. I got like 2 of those. I'm feeling pretty good.
I got all 3 of those.
Oh, look at you. No,
I'm holding the trifecta, Rob.
Jerry, we did it. We finally got Trump to fess up.
We saw this coming, folks.
Hey, you know what's great is that, people like they either love Solana or hate Solana. They either love ADA or hate ADA. Now you got them both in the same basket.
I did not sell every XRP. I went from over hundreds of thousands to less than 10,000. And I kept some, always kept some. The Solana and Cardano, those are easy because you can buy them and you just stake them. And it's like having a dividend reinvestment program with that project, because every year you're compounding more.
Yeah.
That's smart regardless. And so I know people whose entire investment strategy around crypto was get their money in, and then when they are in large enough profit, they get out, but they leave enough in a project that earns a yield that they can compound pure profit for the rest of their life. I think that's pretty smart.
It's really smart. Yeah, it's really smart.
And when did this happen, Rob? When did Trump tweet that out? This
is on Truth Social. I don't have access to that. I don't have signed up, but this is from Coin Bureau. They just released this 8 minutes ago. So you could say probably 20, maybe.
That would explain the candle.
That would explain the candle. I don't know why Dogecoin went up, but whatever. So this was 11/16, 11/26. Yeah, about 10 minutes ago.
While we're on the air telling the world not to panic, hang in there, good times are coming.
Yeah.
Bam! The president puts out a tweet, and here they are. Let the good times roll.
Let the good
Cue
times
the music.
Roll. Exactly. Well, again, everybody who's in the chats, congratulations for, let's be honest, not easy times. And, we said okay, good things are happening, and, just kind of stick with us and it's going to be all right. And you're going to make it. And then here you get this crazy tweet. And then Ashley says a pretty good point. Imagine if that tweet is fake. Imagine.
Could it be?
No, you never know.
Well, isn't there a link to the actual tweet?
We can do this. Truth Social. Here's Truth Social. No. All right. Holy smokes. It was 20 minutes ago. Here it is. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry. Blah, 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 blah.
There you go.
XRP, Sol, and ADA. You know what's funny is that, wow, just check it. You know what's funny is that I remember Charles Hoskinson coming on saying, yeah, I'm meeting with some pretty big people and doing this and doing that in Congress. And people are like, he's so full of it. He's not doing anything. I guess he was right. I guess there it is. So interesting. I know everybody's in disbelief just like me. I'm like, wow. XRP, Solana, ADA. XRP was made sense, but I got to tell you, the Sol and ADA. Well, Solana, because he picked that for his wife's coin, his coin. Yeah. And then remember, this is just 3. This is just 3. And I would assume Bitcoin will be in there.
Oh, 100%.
Jim says 100 million in shorts just got liquidated.
Oh, good. Good.
Brett says it doesn't say Bitcoin. It does not say Bitcoin. So maybe this is just like a teaser to how many, because here's the thing, like, as I understood it, this reserve, the strategic reserve wasn't just going to be a couple or 3. I thought it was going to be like a basket of cryptos.
That's what David Sachs described when he did. Remember when they did the executive order and it was like a big blah, blah, and they had all the cameras and stuff? Well, after that, David Sachs gave, was it MSNBC? Somebody gave them an interview and they questioned him about what had just happened in the Oval Office. He said specifically, we will be looking into a basket of these assets. Like, that was the exact term. We will be looking into a basket of these assets, which indicated the end game would have a basket of these digital assets. Well, how many's in a basket? I don't know. There's hard to quantify that.
So ALB says, oh no, apparently it was hacked.
Stop it. Stop it. Let me have a little bit of fun. Let me enjoy my day just a little bit, please.
That's weird because like a minute later, he tweets, President's trying to mess with 2 million diabetic patients. Help is on the way. I don't know if the hackers would want to post that. I got to join it. Like that. Well, I guess we'll find out if it is. Let's see if it is fake. Cardano. Well.
It's you can already see it starting to go down. We better get off the air, dude.
We better, yeah. Let's just keep it like that.
Stay on a high note. Holy moly.
Where is the let's go for the 1 minute. 89 cents. And a green candle. Maybe it is fake.
Boy, it's never dull.
Jay today says sell.
Where were you where were you 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.5 minutes ago?
Yeah, exactly. You guys are not doing your job. Well, we'll see.
He sold and then waited a couple minutes to tell us so his order could get filled. His sell order.
Then Fonsky says it's not fake. Well, we're going to find out. So take that as you were. Jerry, we should get out of here before anything else happens.
Yeah, holy tumult. Remember, folks, in the gold rush, 1 out of 20 miners actually made any money. But 19 out of 20 people who sold the picks and shovels made a lot of money. And we are in literally the infrastructure phase of this next digital revolution. Don't forget about utility. There are projects that are absolutely providing utility today that is crucial infrastructure for what is coming. Don't lose sight of the future because of some gyrations or some sell-offs or some market corrections today. There's a lot being built.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle occurs.
Exactly. And as a reminder, Peter says it right. This was the same type of action before an ETF. And we'll find out if this is fake or not because prices are going pretty crazy right now. But remember the ETF comes out. We had a lot of great news. People bought like crazy. And then all of a sudden, it just getting a little bit of a dump. And people are like, oh, I guess it's not that big of a deal. And then, of course, we went from, gosh, 45,000 all the way up to the high of 108,000. And that's a very large market cap. So what do you think is going to happen with, say, an XRP or a Solana or an ADA? They've got a pretty low market cap, and we'll see. And then Jet says, dumping hard seems to be fine. We'll find out. I got to get out of here. I get to go watch some tennis pros tonight play over here in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
All right. Have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah. All right. Everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. And Jerry, as usual, thanks for keeping our sanity in. That's it for today, everybody. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all the great stuff. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.